I thank the chairman, Mr. Daniels, with respect to that previous point. There's been about 4.7 million apprehensions under the current administration. Is that unprecedented in your eyes?
Yes.
2.7 million people have been released into the United States. Is that unprecedented, in fact, way off the charts compared to past numbers?
Yes.
The extent to which fentanyl is pouring into our communities, is that precedented?
Yes.
Or is it precedented? It's unprecedented, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard.
I would ask the Judge Samaniego, you testified that there's no invasion. There were 162,000 encounters in the El Paso sector alone in the first quarter of this fiscal year. Does that sound correct? According to Border Patrol numbers. 55,000 in December alone. Is that correct? We had the Democrat mayor of El Paso who has been busing people to New York City. Truth?
Nope.
The Democrat mayor of El Paso has not been putting people on buses, sending them to New York City.
Not without notification at the other end.
Okay, but they're putting them on buses and sending them to New York City. And New York City today is asking the federal government for money to process individuals that they're dealing with overflowing in New York City. Now, you testified earlier that you weren't getting help from the state of Texas. Now, the city of El Paso declared emergency, but has the county declared emergency?
No.
No, the county has not declared emergency.
No, we did not.
The earlier testimony that you had before, you testified that this effort to want to secure the border is racist. So here's a question for you. 50% of Border Patrol are Hispanic. Border Patrol overwhelmingly wants us to change policies to secure the border. Not just as some are testifying that we need more resources. I know that Mr. Daniels, Sheriff Daniels, testified that having 20,000 additional agents would be helpful. The answer to that is, of course. Of course, having more personnel would be helpful. But the question is what do they most want? Mr. Daniels, what does Border Patrol most want to secure the border? Do they want policy changes to actually enforce the law, or do they want more resources? Which would they rank higher?
Policy changes.
What kind of policy changes? Enforcing the laws of the United States at the border?
Enforce the rule of law, and I'll share this add-on too, support from, they feel like they're not being supported by this administration. If
we had a law that said that we should follow current law to detain individuals claiming asylum for the pendency of the adjudication of that claim, to require that they be detained according to current law, would that be banning asylum?
No.
And if people are claiming in this committee that it is banning asylum, would that be untrue?
Yes.
Hector Garza works in Laredo, Texas for Border Patrol. He's a friend. He is Hispanic. He said, the mother of all caravans isn't just materializing out of the ether, it's just the most recent wave of an invasion that is being aided and abetted by liberal activists who believe that subverting United States law is the best way to achieve their radical policy objectives. Mr. Daniels, do you believe that Hispanic Border Patrol agent Hector Garza is racist by describing what we're experiencing at the border as an invasion and suggesting that it is in fact the policies of liberal activists represented by my Democratic colleagues in this committee and in this House, that is what is subverting United States law? Do you believe that is racist?
No.
Judge Samaniego, do you believe that there, in light of your statement saying that these policies that are being promoted to secure the border, that you think that Border Patrol agent Hector Garza, a lifelong public servant working for the Border Patrol in Laredo, Texas, an Hispanic, a Texan, it's racist for that Hispanic American to say that it is an invasion, that his Border Patrol personnel are overwhelmed, that he believes that it is the liberal policies that are making a mockery of our current laws to say that we should enforce the laws, that we should enforce the laws on the books, that is in fact a racist statement by Hispanic Border Patrol agent Hector Garza?
Well, it's a freedom of speech, and he can say whatever he needs to say. I can tell you that if you ask the Border Patrol in El Paso, they're looking for assistance, that we do not detain them because they don't have the space, they don't have the personnel.
I appreciate that, but I would just suggest to you is that is not a racist statement to say that we should think we should secure the border. This chart, Mr. Daniels, can you see it from there? Can you see the uptick in the numbers here, way up here?
Yes.
That chart reflects the uptick in migrant deaths. That's 2020 to 2022. Almost 1,000 migrant deaths at the southwest border of the United States. We had 53 migrants die in a tractor trailer in San Antonio, cooked in the Texas heat. 57 were killed when a tractor trailer crammed with migrants rolled over the highway, crashing in Mexico's southern state of Chiapas. Ask me this, is it Christian for migrants to be treated like that and to die in tractor trailers? Would anybody at this panel think it's Christian? Mr. Dunn, you go to church in Hays County. Is it Christian to allow migrants to die like that?
This
No.
time has expired.
It is not.
Thank you, Mr. Dunn.
Thank you. Before I call on you, I have a few articles that I want to read into the record. El Paso forced to bus immigrants out of town